Welcome to another episode of SCSU Local, your show about everything Central Minnesota. I'm Tashiana Osborne.
And I'm Nu Cheng Vu. On this episode, we'll be highlighting some of St. Cloud's local events and places of interest nearby.
SCSU Local starts now. Husky Productions and UTVS News are making a big splash this year. Two of our very own productions are receiving awards from the Broadcast Education Association. The BEA Awards will take place in Las Vegas. Here's more on the story.
You know, I didn't know what to do, so I just jumped up and down and I said, "Oh my gosh," over and over. I think I didn't even know what else to say. It was beyond me. I was really proud of the newscast that we did. I knew, obviously, that we had worked really hard, but it was still a surprise to see that we had not only placed in a national competition, but we'd taken first place. That felt pretty awesome.
I kind of thought back to when we were in the control room, like during the newscast, and we had a vision from the start of how we wanted this to go, but live news, anything can happen. So I remember being in the control room, and after every story went well and after every block went well, there was just butterflies kind of in your stomach, and you knew that it was successful, but you couldn't say for sure that it was successful until we got this confirmation by winning. Then we really know that somebody else saw it and somebody else thought we were successful as well. So I guess that's what it really means to me, that everybody's hard work over the past semester.
Feels pretty cool to be part of all three things that won awards, just because now I can put that on a resume and I can get jobs with it. And
the BEA Awards is an international festival that highlights college works, and that includes sports and news. And Husky Mag was entered in the student video competition, and that we entered under the multi-camera studio productions. When planning out our awards show for Husky Mag, we picked out a weekend that had a lot of sporting events going on, and we kind of planned out who was going to shoot what, who was going to cut together highlights, who was going to host, and who was going to do all the graphics and such.
a lot of working with people and communicating with each other on how to make things better and how to improve on what we can do for Meg. Next time we do an award show, we can improve from second place to first place in awards.
Other than producing Husky Meg, I am camera 3 for Husky Productions, and I was also a shooter for the news that won.
I was very pleased that we won the BEA because I did not anticipate winning with professional talent, especially with Jim Rich and Tom Satterdahl. I thought that they would, discard this one because we had non-students doing it, so I'm happy that they saw that the production was done by students. From an award standpoint, I chose the Bemidji game because I felt that that was one of our stronger games in the fall season, and I liked it, and it was a game that I was happy with. And every game, you have things that work and then things that don't work. And nothing is perfect, but you get to a level that you're satisfied with. And I think at that point we had reached a level that we liked, and we were satisfied with it.
I do look forward to going to Vegas. I have not been there before, and I'm ready to learn things about TV. BA
is sort of the ultimate academic educational video resource that happens. It's the Broadcast Educational Association. It's in Las Vegas, and it's a great meeting of the minds. And at the same time, in the building right across the street from the Hilton is the Las Vegas Convention Center, and they have the National Association of Broadcasters. And this is the largest convention for television people in, I think, the world.
Congratulations to all those who participate in these events. We'll be right back after these messages.
Getting closer to nature can get you closer to your family. Go to discovertheforest.org.
Well, I first started skating with my friend. He had an extra board, and then he just gave it to me, and I've been skating ever since. Well, when I don't land a trick and I have my mind set on something and I'm not getting what I want, I just keep going for it until I get it right. My mom, she didn't go to college, so she wants me to experience that whole thing, and so I could end up getting like a good job. I think to get into college, I'll have to be determined. Just like when I want to get a new trick, and skating's helped me realize I've got what it takes.
There's a group of very talented musicians at St. Cloud State area. They make up the drum ensemble at St. Celestica. Here's more of their uplifting beats.
My name is Jeremy Craycraft, and I teach at the College of St. Scholastica. We were reaching out to our extended campuses, in this case, St. Cloud. We, at the main university, or the main college, think it's important that we connect to the campuses that are still a part of our community. And one of the great ways to do that, of course, is to share our music that we do at the main campus with those extended sites. So we were here providing a concert, a meet and greet, and just an opportunity for students to meet some of our colleagues and peers from other institutions. The steel drum itself originated around 1935. Of course, it was in the pan yards of Trinidad and Tobago in poor lower class neighborhoods with basically generations removed former slaves. And so these people were literally making music for fun. They started hitting on biscuit tins, metal barrels, things out of the kitchen, and lo and behold, they discovered that if you pound on some of these dents, you could hear a pitch. So what happens is over the next 20 years or so, they develop the pan, which is essentially now an oil barrel that has been hammered out and then hammered up, and it creates these wonderful little bumps that when you strike them produce pitches. And it's been basically improved upon for the last 70 years to the point where now what you heard tonight was just a fantastic timbre made out of very thin metal.
The thing that I like most about the hand drum ensemble is that I really love the chance to be able to just go express myself musically, and it helps me deal with stress too. But I want to be able to keep playing drums. I've been playing drums since 2nd grade. It's been a part of me all my life, and I really wasn't ready to give it up.
Something that I like most about the djembe is it's very diverse, and it's much fun playing it. And when we are on set, we get like students to come up and play and practice with us.
The hand drum ensemble plays traditional hand drum music from places in West Africa. In addition to, we have a piece from Puerto Rico. And so it's very good to be able to not only play really good music, but also learn about the cultures from where they're from, learn about the cultures themselves, the significance of the songs they're playing. Not only does it help enhance your musical talent, it helps expand your knowledge of other cultures.
One of the great things about St. Scholastica is that primarily most of these students are in other professional degree programs. They do music because they're passionate about it, they love it, they've done it in high school, they'd like to continue it in college, but they know that it's not where they want to make their money as a career. So they're participating just for the joy of participating.
The drum ensemble really plays some beautiful music. Stick around for more St. Cloud events right after the break.
Traditional light bulbs actually generate 9 times more heat than light. Switch to Energy Star light bulbs, and you'll realize just how much cash you were really burning through. Saving energy saves you money. Learn more at energysavers.gov.
A world that's getting smaller. World of opportunity. It is a world of
St. Cloud State University's Mass Communications Department, providing you the hands-on experience needed to thrive in the professional media industry. With opportunities in television production and UTVS News, radio experience with 88.1 FM KBSC, the student newspaper, the University Chronicle, and live broadcasts of hockey with Husky Productions. St. Cloud State University's Mass Communications Department, where you run the show.
On February 15th, award-winning documentarian Daniel Bergen screened his film called North Star, Minnesota's Black Pioneers. The documentary revolves around Minnesota citizens and their history. We got a chance to catch up with Mr. Bergen on his thoughts about the film.
I'm Daniel Bergen, and I was the writer, producer, director, editor of the program. And all of that is kind of the creative management of a film. In this case, a history documentary. But my role was, was important, but there was a whole team, as is the case in media work. So worked with great videographers and editors as well, sound designers and composers, and other producers. But I was at the center, and it was a real honor to be at the center of such an important story.
The area also played a
North Star, Minnesota's Black Pioneers, is an anthology of African-American history in Minnesota. It, in many ways, though, is a history of Minnesota as seen through the black experience. And it really explores surprising and little-known figures in Minnesota's history and the way they shaped the black community, but more importantly, the way they helped shape the state and the nation, because some of the figures we learn about played real important parts in American history, really, from the March on Washington to the founding of the NAACP in St. Paul, partly. So these little-known figures from our own history really were kind of major players in American history.
My first reaction was, thank God, like someone's finally doing some history on African Americans, just in general, minorities in general, because it always plays like a back burner in society for some reason. It's always, like he's brought up the north side of Minneapolis and all the ruckus that they usually cause, but they never say the good stuff that African Americans do. So I was just relieved in some sense.
I thought it was really interesting because I had no idea that some of this was the history of Minnesota. So I thought it was very informational and well documented and made, I should guess. Yeah, I was kind of shocked by some of the stuff that I saw and heard.
Well, telling the state's diverse history was an important kind of project, and there had been a lot of books published on the subject around the time we were developing the production. There had for decades been small research projects that had looked at the diverse history and the black history of Minnesota, but there hadn't been to that point a single documentary film that captured a number of these stories and told them in a kind of consistent and compelling way. So we knew the need was there, and that's kind of where the idea came from, is there was a void in this storytelling of Minnesota's history.
I feel that I've gained more awareness about Black History Month because I never learned enough about it in high school and throughout my life so far, and I really found the film to be so great for that, and just made me appreciate Black History Month and Black history in general so much more. And just to raise my own awareness, I felt very, very honored to have watched it, and it was a very interesting experience, very great film.
It just inspired me more. Like, being in St. Cloud, I never envisioned myself being here. But after seeing like all the history in Minnesota, because I've lived in a lot of places, but living here and seeing all the people that kind of came before me and paved the way, it just inspired me to do better. So that's kind of what I took from it.
It was interesting, it was exhausting, it was informative. You know, it's, as you know, there's a lot, you become a kind of expert in a way on the content when you're producing something, whether it's a quick turnaround news piece or in this case a lengthy history. And so it was hugely informative and I learned a lot. There was a lot of pressure as well for a project like this, and so that, you know, is difficult, but you know, I think I responded to it as the writer, producer, director, editor of it. There was a lot of pressure there, but I was pleased to come out on the other end with, I think, a real powerful film.
I recommend that anyone who hasn't seen the film take the chance to go out and see it. Don't go anywhere. Coming up next is our new segment, Common Possession.
It rests on the banks of the mighty Mississippi, just 70 miles northwest of Minneapolis. But from the central Minnesota community, you can see every inch of the globe. St. Cloud State University is an international campus large enough to bring you the world, yet small enough for you to recognize your place in it. As a leader in higher education in central Minnesota, St. Cloud State University programs have been recognized by nearly every major accrediting board affiliated with our 175 academic programs. What's more, it offers a 17-to-1 student-to-faculty ratio, one-on-one attention, and hands-on learning. At St. Cloud State University, 92% of our graduates are employed in their field of study within a year of graduation. 15% of them go on to graduate school, and 100% of them make a difference. St. Cloud State University, stcloudstate.edu.
How you doing? My name's Steve. My family's lived in this neighborhood for years. Recently, things got so tight, we had to go to our local food bank for help. I lost a lot of sleep worrying about what the neighbors might think. That is until I saw them there, too. How'd I do, Steve?
A little stiff. You could have done a little better.
What? Come on. You know, I have an Academy Award.
Yeah, but not for playing me.
Play a role in ending hunger. Visit feedingamerica.org/hunger and find your local food bank.
We have a new segment for everyone today that revolves around environments, health, and legal issues. It provides some easy tips for those looking to cut back on waste. Here is Common Possession.
Welcome to Common Possession. This program is designed to address environmental, legal, and health issues. This week we'll be focusing on the environment and what you can do to have a positive impact.
Hi, I'm Professor Rick Duque, and coming up, I'm going to show you how you can solve 3 global problems just by buying coffee.
Yeah, aluminum foil is recyclable.
Reduce a little and use a bag.
Up first, Rick Duque will take us through one of the favorite parts of his day, drinking coffee.
Hi, I'm Professor Rick Duque. I'm here at the Fair Trade Cafe, and I'm here to highlight 2 issues that might be of interest to you. One is environmental sustainability, and the other one is diversity, or making sure that everyone who works to bring the products you like most is getting paid a fair price. So a lot of times it's very confusing to understand how our personal behaviors can actually affect our larger environment or affect the people that are working hard to bring the products we use on an everyday basis. So I want to highlight these 2 issues and how the behaviors you do every day can actually make a difference. And that's why I'm here at the Fair Trade Cafe, because this cafe actually sort of addresses both those issues at the same time. First, by buying fair trade coffee as opposed to coffee that's made in potentially unfair ways, you're ensuring that the people that are putting together this product are picking the beans in the field, are being paid a fair and livable wage. So that's the diversity part of it. The second part of it is if you come to fair trade, you can actually bring your own mug and actually save the barista the effort and time, and also the material of giving you a styrofoam or even a paper cup, which may not be reused, has to be thrown away, and it puts more pressure on the environment. So by coming to the Fair Trade Cafe, you get to solve three problems. One, you get to ensure your behaviors are consistent with environmental sustainability. Two, you get to ensure that the people that are bringing you the products you enjoy the most are getting paid a fair wage. And three, you get to save money. Because here at the Fair Trade Cafe, if you bring your own container, it only costs $1 for a cup of coffee, and that's pretty cool. Hey, have some coffee, please?
Yeah, would you like light roast or dark roast?
Oh, I'll take dark roast, please, thank you. It's $1. $1.
Anything else for you?
No, that'd be fine, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
All right, have a great day.
You too.
So here I am at the condiments area. I like to take cream and sugar in my coffee, and I have some choices to make. Now I see they don't have any little plastic things with creamer, so they only have the container, which is probably more environmental anyways, because they can keep using this all they want and just keep putting the creamer in there. So I'm gonna put a little cream in there, right? And I also like sugar, and I got some choices here. I can do the packet. But the packet, you know, that's a little piece of paper, and you know, I'm probably going to throw it away. It may not be recycled. So I see also they have the reusable or the container of sugar in the plastic or the glass here, and this is probably more sustainable, I think, because you know they just keep filling this with sugar, and you don't have to throw away things. All right. Now I have a choice also. How am I going to stir it? Now I could stir it with a little plastic stir stick here, but this is probably going to go in the trash, and it's probably not going to be reused. And so the other thing I do instead, I will just you know, swirl it around. Just close the top and swirl it around, and that usually, you know, gets it nice sugary for me enough of this. Let me try it. I'm gonna see how it tastes. Yeah, that's how I like it. So it's pretty good. All right, enjoy your coffee. So if you want to solve 3 global problems, like for example, making sure that stuff like this doesn't get into the environment, styrofoam cup, plastic lid, this stir stick, and these little sugar packets that we won't reuse, all you have to do is come to the Fair Trade Cafe and bring your own cup or mug, and they'll fill you up for $1. So you even get a chance to save money. So save the world, drink some coffee.
We visited the Tri-County Solid Waste Management Facility and spoke with Doug Leon, the plant supervisor and coordinator. Doug shared with us what the facility offers to the community, as well as some basic recycling tips.
Well, we recycle things that aren't considered traditional recyclables, hazardous waste, paints, solvents, insecticides, pesticides, things like that. Garbage haulers don't want to haul them around. Most of the time, if you're not being used, they're unsafe to store at home. So we take those things that would be passed over by traditional recycling markets. Yeah, you were asking if there's some things should you never throw away. And those things are many of the items we take here. Paints, solvents, insecticides, poisons, sometimes mercury from a switch. We get a lot of those. Fluorescent tubes you shouldn't throw in the garbage. Those kinds of things just aren't treated either at a landfill or at a waste to energy facility. So that's part of our function here, is to get that out of the waste stream. You know, there really isn't. There's those recycling symbols on the sides of different things, cans, bottles, pads of paper. But it's become such a marketing thing. Everybody wants to be green, that those symbols have kind of become meaningless. So it's best to check with your local garbage hauler on whether something can be recycled or not, or you can call our office anytime you want. The compact fluorescent bulbs, or the curly ones, or even the long straight ones, any fluorescent bulbs, don't throw those in the garbage. They have mercury vapor in them, So don't break the bulb. There's a small amount of mercury, but there's a couple of companies in the state that recycle that mercury and use it again. And it just continues to accumulate in the environment. So you can get rid of those. We'll be taking them here starting in February. Also, most hardware stores will recycle those for you. Yeah, alkaline batteries, and it'll say right on it, alkaline. Those are the kinds like normal flashlight batteries, smaller batteries for different handheld electronics. Those can be thrown away. If they're rechargeable, or if they say lithium, or they have the hazardous symbol on them, then you want to take those to Batteries Plus. There's also some battery drop-off areas in Sherburne County if you happen to live down there.
Talking about positive change and actually participating are great steps towards building a better tomorrow. Many individuals have already incorporated these tactics into their daily lives. We spoke with Molly Christensen to see how she has made simple changes to help our environment.
Growing up, I didn't use a lot of plastic bags, and so my mom kind of brought that on to me. I try to reduce as much as possible. That's the first step of reduce, reuse, recycle, is reducing what your impact on the environment actually is. And so whenever I go to the grocery store, any kind of store, first of all, I try to limit the amount of packaging I buy and use as many plastic bags as I don't have to. Me and my roommates try to keep reusable bags by the door so we can remember as much as we can to bring them with us to the store. And going into the grocery store, I buy a lot of produce, and there's lots of plastic bags in the produce section. And so I try to limit those by just, I come to realize you don't really need plastic bags to put your fruits and vegetables in. You can just put them in your cart and try to be careful with them, and you're gonna wash them anyway, so I just figure, why use a bag? Not only do I use reusable bags at the grocery store, when I'm out shopping, buying clothes, school supplies, whatever, I also bring along a bag, and so I assume I'm saving about 5 to 10 bags a week. I guess another benefit to using these bags is the durability benefit. Never am I coming in the house and the bag's half ripping and I can't hold it anymore. They stay together pretty well. Here's one of my favorite recycling bags, and you can pretty much pick them up at any checkout, any store. They're from 99 cents to $2, not very expensive. Well, I hope you learned a few benefits of using the bags, and I hope maybe I convince you to use them too.
Thanks for watching the first installment of Common Possession. We hope that you can incorporate some of these simple changes into your daily life to help create a positive change.
I hope everyone can take something away from these tips. It's not that hard, and we can make a difference.
To see this or other shows again, catch us on UTVS Channel 21 or log on to www.youtube.com/ulocal.
Thank you for watching.